Good afternoon. I'm Jody Daly, and with me is PLMA President Brian Sheriff. Hi, Brian.
How are you?
Terrific.
Haven't seen you in almost an hour and a half.
An hour and a half,
yes,
I think so. It's good to be back. And we'd like to welcome you to the final edition of this year's direct from the show floor coverage of PLMA's 2014 Store Brands Reality Trade Show.
Well, the question, of course, is how well has the show worked for retail visitors? We asked Bob Vosberg to go out on the show floor with Wayne Allschul from IGA and tell us.
Wayne, what stood out for you at the show this year?
Well, Bob, every year the show gets better. And it takes longer to walk the show because there's more to see in every booth. This year, what was interesting to me was dessert in all forms. We've always had candy at the show. We've always had nuts and some other small things, but now we're seeing many more forms, both frozen and shelf stable, in the dessert space, which we really haven't gotten to in private label.
What are your IGA retail members looking for? What new products, what ideas can you bring to them?
They're always looking for new ideas. You know, if you think about an independent store, he's a chief cook and bottle washer. He worries about everything. He's got scheduling. He's got trucks coming in the back door. He's worried about shrink. He's worried about pricing. He's got everything. And so they're usually excited when we come to them with new products because it's something that usually someone has done it first. We're not always first. We're not always the innovator, but we'll be first to be second. And so we can help them understand that this is working somewhere, and they'll be happy to put it on the shelf.
And what does Wayne Allschul do tomorrow? What happens on Wednesday after the show ends?
Well, we have a small group, but we're all here. There's 5 of us here. I'm focused right now on some international products for a program I'm building for India, of all places. We have stores, new stores there. But the rest of the group, and also myself, we look at everything in the show. And we'll sit down tomorrow, next day, and we'll figure out a schedule for introduction. We need to make sure that the volume's there for the supplier. We've got minimums we have to meet. And then we'll program it out over the next 12 months in terms of what we're going to take to our wholesalers and ultimately to the retailers.
Great. Wayne, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Well, one product category that keeps retailers smiling is private label pizza. Our Michael Sansolo thought it would be a good time to find and sample some of the more esoteric combinations of ingredients now being offered to consumers.
Brian and Jody, let's be honest about something. I am a native New Yorker. You guys may be also. And from New York, we know pizza. We know what pizza is supposed to be, simple and pure. And I know in Chicago they think something different. We can get along with that. Well, one thing that happens on this exhibit floor is we see all kinds of pizza because retailers do love it, consumers love it, and they see their new tastes and new varieties coming through in pizza. I got to show you some of the things I'm finding out here. First, I went up to booth 6616. This is Da Vinci. And Da Vinci has, this is a frozen pizza, one slice. So you, just like you would get in New York, the single slice, you can fold it, the whole deal. Da Vinci has that now for the consumer's freezer case. How cool is that? But then again, let's find new stuff that goes on pizza. So I went up to Wild Mike's. They're in booth 7003, and they're putting a lot of different stuff on their pizza. Now what we have here is the pizza for the vegetarians. You may never have had tofurkey. I actually have. Tofurkey is turkey, tastes just like turkey, made out of tofu, so it's soy-based, it's vegetarian. And you can see from this pizza, it is a pizza with a whole lot of stuff on it, perfect for vegetarians, and again, you can try that at booth 7003. But right now I'm down at Eat Better, and they've got some really interesting pizzas here. This is booth 3314. Got to show you some of this. First, we have a Mediterranean pizza. This one has cherry tomatoes, black olives, ricotta cheese, and of course, kale, because we have kale in everything these days. All right, one place to go. How about a fruity pizza? Here we've got a pizza that has different kinds of fruits on a multi-grain bun. Again, not the pizza I'd buy, say, in downtown Manhattan, but it is pizza. How about you're driving? You want pizza for the road? We've got mobile pizza. You cook it easily in this little box, microwavable, and voila, you've got pizza that will travel with you. But the one that really got me, because I love Italian food, I like cannolis. We've got pizza that looks like a cannoli. And this comes again in a bunch of varieties. You look at this thing and it's the exact bow tie shape of a cannoli, but it's filled with pizza. So here we take a product that absolutely everybody knows and we bring it to you in all different kinds of ways all over this exhibit floor. You know, this is the best part of my job because I get to show you all these foods and I get to eat them, and this smells so good. You know what? You guys always get stuck watching me eat and you have to sit up there. I got an idea. Brian, Jody, this is for you.
Wow.
How did he do that?
I don't care. It's pizza. Good, too.
Oh, that's really quite wonderful. Well, here's something that we can't bring back to the studio. Store brands have been building momentum in many categories. One category that has caught retailers' attention is cosmetics. So what better way to focus on store brand cosmetics than with a makeover? And our makeover expert is Joanna Stanga.
Hi, Brian. I'm here with our beautiful model, Amy, and we're about to use an array of store brand products for her makeover. I'm going to start with using the Walgreens brand No. 7 Lift and Illuminate Foundation, and I'm going to mix two colors together. I'm just putting a tiny little bit on the top of my hand. And all the brushes I'm using are Moi from CVS. And I'm just going to use this to incorporate the two colors together. And here's me, here we go. Okay, now we're going to use the Walmart store brand Flour Loose Powder to set the foundation and give her more of a matte finish. And now we will put some rose into your cheeks. Now I'm just going to do it on the ball of your cheek. Now we are going to move on to the bronzer, which I'm going to use to just give you a little bit of contour right underneath your cheekbone. And I'm just going to pinch the brush. So now that we've finished your contour and you're just got back from vacation look, we're going to go right to the brows. And I'm going to use the Sephora eyebrow liner. I'm going to mix this with another color. And now I'm going to use an angle brush to blend it all in. Now your brows perfectly frame your face. And we're going to move on to some eyeshadow. And first I'm going to use just a nice neutral base over the whole lid. And this is just a nice neutral brown. Now I'm going to use a darker shadow, just the edge of the brush. And I'm just going to do this just at the lash line, and just a little bit underneath to marry the two together. And we are also going to use a little bit of a highlight. And I'm going to do this just under the brow. I'm going to use the slightest bit of shimmer. Now the mascara. Okay. Now we are going to put on some eyeliner. I'm going right at the lash line. We can put the finishing touch on, which is your lips. And I'm just using a nice neutral. And I'm going to color in the whole thing. There we go. And the finishing touch is a little bit of lip gloss. Okay. Here's Amy. She looks beautiful. We achieved this makeover by using store brands beauty products. Back to you.
Thanks, Joanna, and also thanks to Amy Torres for demonstrating what store brand cosmetics can do.
Well, no show, however, would be complete without some words of wisdom from our veteran commentator. Now, Kurt Goldschmidt, who has celebrated, get this, his 85th birthday this year, and he remembers way back for his first show.
Thank you, Jody. Yes, it is true. I just celebrated my 85th birthday, and for some reason, people think that this is an appropriate opportunity to ask questions such as, did you know Abraham Lincoln? What was the Civil War really like? Well, I didn't know Lincoln, and I can't tell you what the Civil War was like. But I can tell you about the early PLMA shows, and you can decide for yourself whether things have really changed over the years. In 1983, I was a director of sales for American Tissue Company. We exhibited here at Rosemont that year. The show had doubled in size and was even more impressive to me from an exhibitor's perspective. You could find just about every category available on the shelves of a supermarket or drugstore. At the time, top executives for procurement at retail chains were all about the national brands. But for private label sales, those who stopped at the booth were precisely buyers you needed to talk to. They were feeling the same kind of excitement, the same buzz, and somehow they just knew that this was the place to be. We'd spent months in preparation leading up to the show, deciding just which items to offer, how many items, how to display them, and how to set the pricing to ensure us a profit, but still give the retailer an attractive deal. Of course, I had a secret weapon, my lovely wife, Annabelle. There she would be, not only keeping her eye on me, but offering the buyers her perspective as a woman and a consumer. She would explain that napkins and facial tissues were both sold in boxes. As Annabelle demonstrated, when a shopper got home, she would remove the outside wrapper and set the box out on the table, and boom, there's the name of your store right there for everyone to see, she would say. It wasn't too long before every retailer got the picture. I suppose that none of us imagined back then just how big the PLMA show was going to grow, or how far the retail chains were going to take their own brands and run with them. Now, back to you, Jody.
Well, Jody, let's not ignore the younger generation. Our intern helping us on this year's show is Josh Andrews from Armonk, New York. Where is Josh? Yep.
There he
How
is.
are you, Josh?
Good.
Nice to have you.
Good being here.
He really was great.
Oh, he was. He's available for rentals.
That's what I hear.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So for Brian and myself, we'd like to thank you two for watching, and we hope you had a successful show. Remember, you can access PLMA Live throughout the year on your laptop, desktop, or smartphone. Just go to www.plmalive.com and stay on top of the trends and happenings in all store brands. Thanks so much for being with us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Till next year.